Hey everyone, welcome into another episode of SportsNite. This is SportsNite number 13, and for some reason I'm really dark in the picture. I don't know why, but I am. But welcome in everybody. Hope you're all doing really, really good. Thank you for being here. Thanks for jumping over from Dan's stream, and thank you for your patience. I know we ran a little bit late tonight, but we wanted to accommodate Dan where we could. Thank you for being here. We're going to have a great, great show tonight. It's going to be awesome. I think we're going to have a wonderful time with it. And a few things I want to get started out with. Let's just say, first off, what we're going to do, kind of twofold tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun. Steve and I are going to go over our halfway point of the MLB baseball season. If you guys remember, back in April, I think it was, right, Steve?
Yes. Right. Is either right at the end of March or right at the beginning of April.
Yep, we did our Major League predictions. We did our standings. We did our awards. And tonight we're going to see, since we're at the halfway point, we're going to see how we did so far. Where are we? Did we hit it? Did we miss the mark? Maybe we're a little somewhere in between. We're going to have fun with that. But after that, because this shouldn't take too long, we got a lot of Disney happening over the last week that we're going to talk about. Some really cool stuff, fun stuff that we're going to get into for a little bit. And we're going to have a good time with it tonight. But let's get started. I want to do a little bit of mousekeeping real fast. As usual, we want to thank Dean over at the Live Place, theliveplace.com. Whether it's Saturday through Sunday, if you're looking for a stream, any day of the week, you're going to find one at theliveplace.com. Dean has tons of great content, wonderful talent, as I like to call everybody. And you can find the stream, Disney or non-Disney. There's other stuff as well, just like tonight. There's some Disney in there, but there's also some other content as well. So check out theliveplace.com. Obviously, one of my partner channels is Dan at Disney Dan. Dan just went live every Saturday at 7 with Disney Fiasco. He also does Food Fridays most of the time. It's not every week, but most of the time he'll do Food Fridays as well. And of course, my other partner channel, Steve. You want to plug your channel real fast, buddy? Thank you for being here as usual.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it, man. Yeah, we go live every Monday, 8 o'clock. I go live with you on Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and we go live, of course, with the This and That show on 9:30s on that rotating channels with Shep Family, Zippity Doodad, and Brandy and Dave. It's becoming really fun, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely come check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody definitely check out Steve's channel. I think this week it's on your channel, right?
It is, and we will be doing something to do with the Lion King.
Oh, my goodness. There you go. Don't miss it, guys. It's going to be great. Now, as for us, a couple things, obviously, tomorrow, 4 p.m. on this channel, Star Wars Sunday, Dan and Rob Fuzz, who will be our special guest, we're going to be talking about Episode 4, A New Hope. We finally get into the originals, and it's going to be a great, great show. We're going to have a review of it, what we like. Maybe there was something we didn't like. Going to talk about all that tomorrow. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Mouse Talk channel. Check us out. Of course, on Tuesday night is a big night. And, Steve, you know what I'm talking about, too. We go live on Tuesday night here with Mouse Madness, and we're going to have a great time with that because we're going to go over a few different things. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to do our rankings of the rise in attractions at Epcot. But also, you all know we've been doing Community Spotlight. And this Tuesday, I'm going to focus on Mickey's Magic, Meg, who I dropped the ball. I was supposed to go over her questions on Thursday when we did our DVC. I'm so sorry, Meg. So I'm going to make it up to her. We're going to talk about Meg's channel on Tuesday night and go over her wonderful 10 questions. She answered the 10 questions. We're going to do that too. So check it out. Be there for Meg. She's a great supporter of this community, and she's just knocking it out of the ballpark too. And then, of course, Thursday, we'll be back with Melissa and I for Disney Talk Thursdays. Don't know what we're doing just yet. So that's a lot of stuff coming up, folks. But yep, Steve. So let's get right into it, buddy. Again, we did predictions at the beginning of the season, and we're going to go over that. And you know what, Steve? I'm jumping ahead. Let me say hi to a few people in the chat real fast. Yep. While you're getting yourself prepared there. Joseph Andrews is here. Rachel Susik, Miguel Benitez, welcome in. Two Real Geeks, Zachary Pollock, Kay Atwood, Jeff Dolwip, Dad is here. Steve's World's here. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Kathleen Merkovic Robinson. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Brian's in here. Go Braves, he says. John Hazelton. It's late for you, John. Welcome in, pal. Shep from the Shep family, who will actually be going on after us.
Yes.
Later on tonight. Steve will be on there as well. Steve's the stream king. Be sure to check him out as well. Head over to Shep family after this. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Anybody else? I think that's it. Pete McDevitt's in here, too.
What's up,
He
Pete?
is live from Hooters in Ocean City, Maryland. It's your local odds maker. Well, I got you with some Thrashers. Yes! I know exactly where he is, too. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I know where Ocean City is. That's what I meant.
Hey, they have great food.
They do actually have great food. I did get a haircut. Two Real Geek says I got a haircut and I shaved. I know. I probably look like a totally different person. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. And, so, again, halfway point of the season. Back in April, we did our predictions. And now we're going to go each division and kind of see where we are. Okay? So, Steve, let's start in the American League.
Okay.
We'll save your league for second.
Yep.
And let's start in the American League East. I'll go over the standings as to where they stand right now.
Yep.
And then we'll each talk a little bit about where we are and how we match up. We'll save awards for after we do each of the standings, like American League standings, then the awards, National League standings, then awards. Okay? All right, here we go. So in the American League East, we'll start in the East. Right now you have the Yankees in first place. You have Tampa Bay in second, Boston in third, Toronto in fourth, and, of course, my lowly Orioles are in last. No surprise there, and I think we all knew that. And they actually made a trade today. But there you go. And I think I won't go over wins and losses just yet. Maybe as we get closer to the end of the season, we can do that, Steve. But how are you looking so far on the East?
I'm looking really good, and when you compare them to their projected standings, I'm pretty close on everything except one thing, and that's I have Boston ahead of Tampa Bay. But I know in the beginning you predicted nobody to have 100 wins. I remember that. I think I projected 2. One of them was, of course, the Dodgers, and then one of them was the Yankees. The Yankees are on pace for 104 wins. I had them at 100, so I mean that's pretty close. Tampa Bay, I had 87 wins. They're on pace for 92. Blue Jays, I had 63. They're on pace for 61. The Orioles, I gave too much credit to and said 53. They're on pace for 50. And then the only one that's Boston, I gave them a little too much credit at 95 wins, and they're on pace for only 89. So relatively pretty close, within about 5 or 6 games of every team so far.
Got you. No, absolutely. But same thing here. The only difference I had really in the standings was like you said, I had Boston above Tampa Bay. It's still early. We still got the whole entire second half of the season to go.
Yeah.
And Boston is literally 2 games behind Tampa Bay, so that can change very, very easily. No problem there whatsoever when it comes to the standings. I think when it came to these 2 teams, the ones we really were worried about were the top 3. We knew the 2 that were going to be at the bottom. That was no doubt about that for sure. But I agree with you. We're both really, really close. Even in our wins and losses, I had the Yankees at 97 wins. They're on pace for 104. I still don't think they'll win 100. I think they'll come back down. But you never know. They could. And if they do, if they win 100 and I said 97, I won't be disappointed. I'm close. Yep. So there you go. So there's your East. What about American League Central?
So there's actually 3 teams in the American League right now that are on pace for 100 wins, one of which is a team that I didn't give them I remember saying that I thought they could do really well, and I had them in second place, but it's the Twins. The Twins have overperformed a little bit. They're on pace for 103 wins right now. I had them in second place anyways, but they're ahead of the Indians. The Indians are pretty much on pace for 91 wins, which I had them at 95. Kansas City, I gave way too much credit to. I had them winning 75 games. They're on pace to only win 55, so I'm 20 games off there. But that's where the Minnesota's extra wins came from, so it evens out. And then the White Sox and the Tigers, I had in the same position as they are right now, except the White Sox I had predicting 69 wins. They're on track for 77. And Detroit at 63. They're only on track for 53. So pretty close, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the one where I didn't think Kansas City was going to be very good. I only had them winning 60 games, which is still more than what they're on pace for right now. But you're right. Same thing here. I had Cleveland in first place. I did have Minnesota in second, but I certainly did not have Minnesota winning 103 games, and I still don't think that they will. That pace is not a pace that I feel they can keep. I just don't. I personally think they'll be I put them at 77 wins. Obviously, they're going to be well above that. They've already got 57 wins. They're not just going to win 20 in the second half. But I don't think they'll win 100. I think they'll probably be in the low 90s by the end of it. But pretty much other than that, I had Chicago, Cleveland, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City. The final three can flip-flop. They're all within, a couple games of each other, except for the last two. Kansas City and Detroit, we're right there with them. So, yeah, we're not too far off, to be honest. We're all right there. Even the Minnesota, Cleveland, technically, Cleveland's, Minnesota's playing out of their mind. And Cleveland's, they're 11 games over 500.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ball. It's just Minnesota's playing really good ball. Yep. So there you go.
Sure.
So that's the Central. And now let's head out west, where I think, for the most part, we might have hit this one pretty good.
Not me. This is my worst division. So let me see here. So on this division, I've got one team in the right spot, and that's Houston. I mean, that's not going to change. They're also on pace for 100 games right now. 100 exactly. But then everything kind of switched up. I had Seattle as a second place. They have fallen off the radar really hard. They started out great in the season, then they fell off real bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're down in last place. I had the Angels in third. They're in fourth. I had the A's in fourth. They're in second. And I had the Rangers last, and they're in third place with a winning record, believe it or not, Jeff. But yeah, even my numbers, the only one I'm close on numbers besides Houston, I'm within 4 games. They're projected to win 100. I said 96. The Angels, I said, will win 85. They're on pace for 81. The rest of them are way off. Mariners, I have winning 23 more games than they're on pace for. A's are on track to win 20 games more than I had. And the Rangers are on track to win 23 games more than I had. So I didn't do too well in that division.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? Where they finish, it means a lot. But you're right. Record means everything, because you can finish in second place in your division, and you might still make the playoffs.
Yep.
Even though you didn't win your division, if your record's good enough, it can still get you in. For me, I had Houston and Oakland first and second. Right now, that's on par. Texas and Anaheim and Seattle. I had Anaheim, Seattle, then Texas. Texas is playing much better than I thought they were going to play. I did not expect them to be 8 games over 500. That's really shocking. But I think part of that is because I didn't expect Seattle to be as bad as they are.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No, I thought they were played better than that. But they have really played poorly, and it really shows so far. But there you go. So that's the American League in retrospect. Now let's talk about awards and the players that we picked, because this is where it's really going to get interesting. I didn't do very well. A couple I did, but a couple I didn't. Who was your MVP? Who did you pick for MVP?
Mike Trout. And I think he's on pace. I think he's on pace to do it too.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. He certainly is. For me, I went a different route. I just didn't want to take the obvious. But my guy is certainly out of it. He's not even playing. It's Mike Stanton.
Oh yeah.
He got hurt early. Yeah, he got hurt early in the season, and he definitely is not even. He's just not playing at all, and it hasn't hurt the Yankees.
No, not at all.
At all. But he's not playing, so obviously my MVP in the American League is out of it for sure. But I do think if he played, he would be there. But it doesn't matter if you don't play; it doesn't matter. What do they say? The best ability is availability.
Yep, for sure.
It is. Doesn't matter how good you are if you ain't on the field. It doesn't do any good. Noah, welcome in. Rob Fuzz, welcome in. Corey Meets World, welcome in. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. And we got a lot of Disney news to get to, but we are doing our first half predictions to see how good we did. So, Steve, you're on pace for your MVP. How about your Cy Young Award winner?
So my Cy Young, I had Justin Verlander and Chris. I had 3. I put on 3 on each one, but Justin Verlander is who I picked to win it.
Okay. Numbers? Any idea?
I'll be honest with you. I forgot to look at their numbers where they're standing right now. I know he was doing quite well. I haven't seen any. I feel bad because I haven't seen baseball in 2 weeks except for the home run derby. So I'm not really sure where they finished up yet, but I think he's still in the mix. He still has a shot at it. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Now for me, for my American League Cy Young, I picked Garrett Cole. Cole's having a decent season. He's 9-5. He's got a 3.23 ERA. His WHIP is 1.03, and he's got 183 strikeouts. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Oh yeah.
So he's there. He's definitely in the conversation. With 9 wins, he's on pace for about 17 to 20. I think I have a shot with him.
Yep.
What are your thoughts
For
with
sure.
Cole? Yeah.
Yeah, there, and I think I mean there's several that are doing quite well. I know I would say there's realistically 5 or 6 that have a shot at that right now. But
Yeah.
you never the second half could, I mean, one injury takes somebody out. A second half, it could be a completely different story. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the fun of this is we're just looking at halfway through. But I agree 100%. Welcome to Dave Houston. Thank you for being here. And Noah, welcome in, buddy. Noah said he went to the Marlins Miami game, the Marlins Mets game yesterday. The Marlins won, so that's nice.
Nice.
Congrats, Noah. Now, Rookie of the Year. How are we doing there, Steve? Who'd you pick?
I picked Vlad Guerrero Jr. and the way he hit in the home run derby the other day. I mean, he's not played a lot, so I don't think we'll be there, but he played in the home run derby the other day and against Jock Peterson, and they went toe to toe. They both hit 40. He hit 40 and 39 against each other, and Vlad won. But he was a beast, and he looks really good. I don't think I could be wrong. I didn't do a lot of research on him, but I don't think he played a lot of games. I think he was only played a handful, which will keep him probably from getting it. But his numbers in the games he's playing are really good.
Right.
So we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Yeah, Vlad was my pick too. That was the one where we did agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
He has 8 home runs, 25 RBIs. He's batting .249. It's an outside shot. Here's the thing about Vlad, for what I see. I think exactly what you said is big. His exposure in the home run hitting contest will help him.
Yep, for sure.
We know who votes for the Rookie of the Year. But that being said, sometimes a name means something. And if his numbers are decent and nobody's really blowing it up like they are in the National League, and we'll get to that.
Yep.
If they're not really blowing it up, exposure may mean something. And I think Vlad's still got a shot.
For sure.
Yep, absolutely. So there you go, folks. That's the American League. Kind of blew right through that. I'm glad we got a lot of Disney news. We might get through this pretty quick, Steve.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And we planned on it, but.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's move over to the National League, the weaker league.
And Corey meets Worlds here, too.
I saw him. I said hi to him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was writing.
That's all right. Disney Fanatic, welcome in as well. Thank you for being here. Yep, Corey's here. National League. Again, I think we're not too far off, Steve. Looking at what we had, I don't think we're doing too bad. Let's start in the East, and I'll go over that with you. We'll start there first. So this is where I got it wrong so far, because Atlanta's in first place, and they have 55 wins. Atlanta, then Washington, Philadelphia, the Mets, and Miami.
Yeah. So the top 4, the top 3 I had in this were only separated by 1 game each. The 4th one was a few more behind it, but all 4 of them are still in the top 4. They're just jumbled a little bit. When you only have 1 game apart, that's a little hard to do. But mine is scrambled as well. I had the Braves in 3rd, and they're on pace to win 97 games. I had the Nationals in 4th. They're on pace to win 86 games. Phillies are on pace to win 84 games. I had them 2nd. And then I actually put the Mets ahead of everybody else, but they're struggling right now. They're only on pace to win 71 games. And then, of course, the Marlins, I gave them credit to win 56 games, and they're only on pace to win 38. So they're not very good. They might be the worst team in baseball right now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not true. I must have did. Hey, Matt.
No, because they already got 34.
No, they're on pace for 62 games. Okay, I messed that one up. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, they already got 31 or 34 wins.
Yeah, they have 34 already. Yep. Welcome to Andrea Houston as well. I just want to say hi to her. So, yeah, I'm with you. So, for me, I got it kind of mixed up. I had Philadelphia in first place. I really thought the Phillies were going to do something. They actually started off very hot. They were doing really well to start, but they have cooled considerably. So, I have Philadelphia. Washington I have in the right spot. I had them in 2nd. They are in 2nd. But the Mets right now, being in 4th place, I had them in 3rd place. And I had Atlanta in 4th place. So Atlanta has really been the surprise for me. I did not think they were going to have the season they were going to have.
No, neither one. Like I put the winner of this division only having 88 wins. They're on pace for 97. I really didn't think they'd win that much.
I still don't think they will. Again, I think they're ahead of the pace. I think the paces are going to come down a little bit for these teams. There are only a few teams that I think are going to keep the pace they're on. Because I don't think anybody's going to win 100 games. That's just me.
I disagree, but that's just me.
Well, of course. And but your team, and we're getting to them. They're well over the pace.
Yeah, they're the best team in baseball right now on the highest pace. So
oh yeah, easy. They're rated above the Yankees by 1 percentage point. Yep.
So
645 to 644. Absolutely.
Yep. I projected the Yankees to win 100 games and the Dodgers to win 101. So I would say it's pretty close.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The Disney Fanatic says the Nationals are doing better without Bryce Harper, and the Phillies are doing worse with him. I agree.
But I wouldn't blame that on Bryce Harper, though.
Well,
maybe it's the team you build around him.
Maybe,
but he's still playing pretty well.
Right, but yeah, his numbers are okay, and we're going to get to that in a minute. His numbers are pretty good. But that being said, what you pay a player does inhibit what you put around him. So I get what they're saying. Not only that, Washington really actually has only come on in the last month. They've been like lights out. They did not start well.
No, they started terrible.
They started really bad. So we'll see. We'll see for sure. But so there you go. That's the East. Let's move over to the Central. And again, this is where I really messed up. I did not see this one coming. Well, I should have, but I kind of went out on a limb. Steve, how'd you do in the Central?
I'm not doing too bad. I had the Brewers over the Cubs by a game, and it's reversed right now by 3 games. So, it's reversed by 2 games. So that one was relatively close. I had the Cardinals in third still, right where they're at, pretty close to the number they're projected for. And then the Reds and the Pirates, I gave the Pirates no love, and they're on pace to win 8 more games than I said they would, but both those teams are right there at the bottom. They're only 3 games apart from each other, or they got the same number of losses, just 3 wins difference. So, yeah, this division is not very good. The winner is projected to only win 86 games. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think the Brewers are going to kick it on though, and still win the division. But they've lost 6 of their last 10, which kind of put them in this position. But I think they'll kick it on towards the end and show up to win the division.
And what's funny is if you look at the records of these teams, it's amazing just how evenly they are so far. First place to last place is only a difference of 6 games.
Yep.
Period. It's only the last place team is only 6 games out of first place.
Yep.
Not the next one up. First place. It's incredible how incredibly right now evenly matched these teams are playing.
Well, right now the Dodgers have a bigger lead on second place than the projected finish from first to last in the NL Central.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. So it's crazy how that division is. But for me, I've really kind of missed on this. I have everybody right there. The last 2, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, I had them right. Had Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in last. But I had St. Louis in first place, Cubs in second place, and Milwaukee in third. So I'm not too far off right now, but I didn't.
And again, there are only 3.5 games difference between first and third in that division. So, we could have done this a week ago and it'd been a different story. We'd be like, oh yeah, we're right on it. So
yeah, I agree 100%. So there you go. That's the Central. And now let's move over to the West.
Yes.
And this is really like you said, it's a 1-team race.
For sure. I thought it to be that way too.
Well, it is. Yeah, and we both did. I think. For the most part, even with my predictions, I still had the Dodgers winning by 8 games.
Yeah, I had them winning more than that, but they're on pace to win by 22 games right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's still a heck of a lot, and I don't know that they'll keep that pace. They may, but as it gets closer to the end of the season, they'll start sitting players more. If they have a substantial lead, you may see some games that. They're not putting the best 9 out there.
Yeah.
So
and on top of that, as good as that record is, they've lost 6 of the last 10 games too. So that record was a whole lot better percentage wise than it is even now 10 games ago. So
right. No, I agree. But they'll start sitting players. Pace is a 645 pace is extremely hard to keep up with. What are they on pace to win?
105.
Right. That's hard. To win 105 games in a division where 3 out of the 5 and almost 4 out of the 5 are 500 or better, that's not going to be easy. It's just a testament to how good they are.
Yep.
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah. So
and this is by far, record wise, this is by far the best division in the league, for where they are and how many games they're going to win, based on percentages. I mean, so like you said, almost one game away from, or for the Padres, from being 4 teams at 500 or better in that division. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. So what were your predictions? What are your standings when you saw
they're almost spot on except for one team, and that's the Diamondbacks. I had them close. I had the Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Padres all close, except I had the Diamondbacks behind all 3, and they're in front of all 3. But the Rockies and Padres have got the same order. All the wins are pretty much spot on with where we projected them to be. They're actually, I projected them to win a few more games than they are on track to do. And then I had the Giants in last place, winning only 67 games, and they're even on pace to win 76 games, which is just under 500 too. So they were pretty much spot on in that division.
Yep. Same here. I had the Dodgers, but I had Colorado second, Arizona third, San Diego and San Francisco right where I thought they would be. I had San Francisco winning 70 games.
Well, San Francisco has been in second place all year long until this week.
Yeah.
So they've been playing pretty well, a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah. They're 6 games out, 6 games off 500, so they're right there. Yep, for sure. Disney Fanatics says San Diego Padres are outperforming how I thought they were going to do. I agree. I didn't think the Padres would even be close to 500, to be honest with you. Even picking up Machado, being in a division that had the Dodgers, Arizona, and Colorado, who I all thought were good teams, and you have to play them 19 times. I just didn't see it. So for them to be 1 game under 500 right now, I think they're outperforming what I thought they would do too. So that's just I agree 100% with Disney Fanatic there. So let's see, Steve. Let's go to your NL MVP. Who'd you have?
I had Paul Goldschmidt from the Cardinals with Cody Bellinger second. I don't know. I honestly think Cody's going to walk away with the MVP, but I don't know. I honestly don't know where Paul Goldschmidt's numbers stand, but I don't even know if he's in it anymore. I know he's not even like on the favorite. So right now the favorite to win is Cody Bellinger from the Dodgers. Christian Yelich is still second, close, and I had him as my third pick. After that, the numbers drop off for everybody else and on odds. So, I think it's going to be Bellinger, but I actually had Paul Goldschmidt, and he's not anywhere near the running.
Gotcha. Yep. And same here. I had Harper, and Harper's not having a terrible year. His average is really – he's just not a guy that hits for average. 16 home runs, 62 RBIs, but he's batting .256 with 5 stolen bases. His on-base percentage is .371, which isn't terrible. But he's not really in the conversation. His team isn't doing anything. And if your team's not winning, you have to be – with ungodly numbers to be on a bad team or a sub 500 team and win the MVP. It very rarely happens.
Yep.
Very rarely happens for sure. But there you go. That's my MVP. What about your Cy Young? How'd you do there?
So my Cy Young was Max Scherzer. So and I found this while I was off here looking at the other site. I remember in the American League I said Justin Verlander. Justin is actually the favorite to win. I didn't know that. Max Scherzer is second to win behind the Dodger pitcher Ryu, however you say his name. He's doing great, phenomenal. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to hold up. And that's hard for me to admit as a Dodger fan. He's been playing so great, but he got rocked in the All-Star game. And I don't think he's going to hold. I think Max is still going to come from behind him. Max is a second favorite, but I really think that he's still going to hold on and win it.
Cool, very good. Cargo, welcome in as well. Cargo's here. She says she's making brownies.
Nice,
good. Welcome in, Cargo. Well, no, I just so off the market here. For me, I had National League Cy Young as Noah Syndergaard. Nowhere near. No, not at all. 6-4, 4.68 ERA, 101 strikeouts, 1.278. whip. He's just not having a very good year at all. So, I mean, there's just no way. There's no bones about it. He's just not having a very good year. I thought for sure the Mets were going to be better than they are, and they're 11 games under 500. They're very disappointing right now. Not sure the manager's going to keep his job after this season. So there you go. That's the West for me. I mean, that's my. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's my Cy Young Award winner and not winner because he's not going to win. And I did get the Rookie of the Year. I'm calling it right now. He's going to win the Rookie of the Year.
Pete Alonso.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the favorite. Now, my guy's not far behind him.
He's not winning.
Fernando Tatis, but I don't think he's going to catch him. Alonso won the home run derby in dramatic fashion all 3 rounds. He hit one on his last ball to pass. He was tied on his last ball in every single round and won on the last hit that he had. So that's pretty good for him. He looks good, phenomenal. I mean, the guy can play baseball, and he's just above Fernando Tatis in the betting odds for a Rookie of the Year. So it'll be interesting to see how they play going down the stretch.
Well, the problem with Alonso is here's a guy that's on a team that's 11 games under 500. He's got 30 home runs, 68 RBIs. He's batting 277. He's got 371 on base percentage.
Yep.
So Jeff's saying Tatis is amazing. So is Pete Alonso.
Yeah. Well, and Alonso's going to. Which is not saying much for the franchise. He's on a terrible team, which sometimes makes people look better than they are, but his numbers speak for themselves.
Well, and numbers are numbers.
No other Mets rookie has ever hit that many, and he's already set the record for a Mets rookie. And then he's only like 2 away, I think, from the is it Strawberry's record of home runs? Is it Strawberry hold the record for home runs?
No, Todd Hundley the one year had like a ton of home runs for them.
I thought they said he was only just a couple home runs behind the Mets all-time record. Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm really looking it up real quick.
But I thought Todd Hundley one year hit like 45 home runs or something like that. Or Dave Johnson. For single, you talking about single season?
Yeah, single season.
No, I know Dave Johnson one year who shouldn't have, but he hit like 40.
Well, he's still only then 10 behind him, but
well, wait a minute. Are you talking rookie home run record?
I'm talking about the Mets franchise record for home runs in a single season. And I can't remember what it is. I was watching during the home run derby, which I was also streaming too, so I can't remember exactly which one they said, but one of them said that he was only a few away from the Mets record. I know he broke the rookie record less than halfway through the season.
Huh, interesting. Okay, yeah, let's see. All time. I mean, I can give you all time, but not season. I don't know. It doesn't show season. Isn't that funny? Should. Here we go. It's no, I was right. Todd Hundley, 41.
Okay, so 41 is the most they've gotten any season by any player in the history. So he's only 11 away from that.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a good shot.
Yeah.
No, Todd. No, Jeff Howard Johnson too, but Davey Johnson also played for the Mets at one point too. And I think
it was Strawberry's rookie record that he broke.
Right. Yes.
And,
yes.
And then the regular. I thought Strawberry had the all-time record, but it's not. So.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Howard Johnson played for the Mets too, but so did Davey Johnson. After he left the Orioles back in the 60s, he went there and actually had like an unbelievable one season for them, which was really weird. Yeah, Beltran and Hundley, but Hundley was the guy that just came out of nowhere and hit 41 home runs one year. But there you go. So there you go. I think Alonso's got this one. We'll have to see for sure. Yep. So overall, I think we're right there, Steve. I think you're doing better than me, but
anything can happen.
Huh?
Anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. But no, there's a lot of season left to go. And 38, Jeff. He certainly did have 38 that one year. Howard Johnson, good ball player too. But we are close on our predictions. Not too far off, but you're definitely a little bit closer than I am for sure. But so there you go, folks. Our predictions halfway through. We're not doing too bad. I have not paid as much attention as I should have. So I'm surprised I'm even this close. I thought I was going to be way off. I am way off in a lot of areas, but some areas I'm closer than I thought I'd be. But so there you go, folks. That's our predictions halfway through the season. Not too bad. But I do want to talk some Disney while we have some time here. We still got about 25 minutes yet left until about 9:15. And Steve, did you have one of the stories you wanted to talk about? I had a couple different ones I wanted to talk about.
Well, I mean, I got several, but I'll just go. You ran them, and if we have more time at the end, I'll throw something in.
Okay. Well, of course, everybody. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I posted a video earlier in the week. The new buses are out.
Mhm.
I love the new wrapped buses with this. I want to go into this a little bit. I love the fact that it's the sensational six. You got Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto. If you guys haven't seen these buses, try to go out and find a video of them. They're actually really, really nice. They're so pretty to look at. I know it sounds corny, but they really are fun. And the inside's even better. They have Wi-Fi inside the buses, plus USB ports for people to be able to plug in. Disney is really pushing phones and plugging in and staying connected. I know you guys were talking about one of the things that's kind of your pet peeves is people being on their phones, but Disney's pushing that. They really are. Steve, what do you think of the buses?
So it's not. I don't have a problem with people being on their phones during the bus ride, things like that. I mean, that's the time to do it.
Right.
I do think I think the addition of USB ports between every seat is phenomenal. I think that's going to be, that's huge for people. And that's definitely a guest thing for the guests. The outsides of them look really cool. When you guys kept talking about getting wrapped, I never saw them until this week, and I saw how they wrap them. It's just one big giant head of the character
It's great.
with some new stuff down the sides, but they are great looking. I mean, they just right in the center of the bus is this huge Mickey head. I think it's got a couple stripes down it, but they look
it's their colors of their clothes.
Yeah, it just looks so much better that way. I mean, they look really, really good, and like, hopefully between that and the USB ports, I mean, honestly, the buses weren't that bad already, but this is just really cool to see. And a lot of people have problems with them pushing so much IP throughout the parks. I don't, because Disney is Disney. Put all the IP you want out there, because that's what it is. It's Disney World, and I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Gotcha. No. These buses look fantastic. Stuff like this, I'm okay with the IPs. That I get. Well, that's a whole nother rant down the road when it comes to IPs with me. I like IPs. I just don't like IPs replacing things that are unique to Disney. That's my whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the buses, what I'm hoping they do with the buses is I'm hoping they expand on it and bring in other character buses, like a Buzz Lightyear or a Pocahontas or a Hercules or a Flynn Rider or a, you know what I'm saying? Or
what would be really cool though, it would be harder to, because sometimes the buses go out of service and they have to go different places, or whatever. But if you could theme like all the Polynesian buses had Moana characters on them, no matter where they went, back and forth to the parks, all the Polynesian buses would have either Moana or Maui or some Moana, something themed to that restaurant. Or like the All-Star Sports would have Goofy playing baseball or Mickey pitching or any of those kind. It would be neat to have the same characters themed on the buses to the resorts, but I think that would be really difficult to try to accomplish.
Probably, but I like the idea. I just want to see more characters. I'm hoping that they're not just going to keep it to the Sensational Six. As nice as that is, to be able to walk down there and wait for a bus, and out of nowhere, here comes a genie bus.
Yep. Well, they did it with the gondolas. There's no reason they couldn't do it with the buses.
I agree 100%. And that was the example that I used in my video. I said, look, they did it with the gondolas. You could do it with the buses. Wouldn't that be neat? That would be awesome.
Yep. No, I think they could do that pretty easily, and it would be more visually pleasing for guests for sure.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Also, speaking of news, shocking news, and not to plug all my videos, but I'm going to do it anyway. I did a video on the fact that the Tomorrowland sign, the iconic sign, it's gone. Disney has, overnight, they have shipped it out, and it is, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, I'm assuming probably gone forever. Steve, what do you think?
I don't care. It needed to go. Like Tomorrowland, there's been times if I'm not there for Space Mountain, I don't need to go to Tomorrowland that often. Because I think the Carousel Progress is bad, which I think is over there anyways. I don't ride the TTA until August. I've had no reason to be over there once they took out Alien Encounters. So it's just not what I care about. And it needs such a massive overhaul, which is why they're doing it to start it. I'm excited for what they put in and the new signage and everything, because I think they needed it so bad. But yeah, other than that, I had really no qualms with it going. Other than I know some people are the traditionalists and nostalgia and all that. Things are meant to be changed, and that's one thing that really needed to be changed.
You mean the look of Tomorrowland?
The whole everything in Tomorrowland
Okay.
needs it needs rides. It needs upgraded. The whole look, like the look is one of the main things. You know, Tomorrowland today, or what we project for the future, is something totally different than 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know, now some of that technology exists, and now we have a new picture of what the future would hold. So it's something that definitely needs overhauled, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I like the sign. You know me, I'm a traditionalist. Yep. I like the old stuff for the most part. I like new stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love like Flight of Passage, and I can't wait for Star Wars Land and all that. That's all great. But I think there's a place for the nostalgia. Let's not forget where we came from. That's how I see it. Okay. We know where we're going, or where we hope we're going. Let's not forget where we've been and how we got to where we are. That's why I like to keep some of this old stuff. But I agree with you. I'm hoping for a facelift on the sign. It doesn't have to be the same sign coming back. I actually hope it's a nicer kind of
for sure
sign. I agree 100%. Like the Monsters Inc. sign that they have now for that show. I love it. I love it.
And what I think they need to do, instead of worrying about the 5th park soon, is they need to pick a spot on property that is somewhat of a museum type thing, where they can bring all this old stuff for people like you to go walk through. Because in my opinion, things need to change to stay current. They have to change. If they want me to keep coming back, they need to upgrade. They need to keep changing things. But it would be cool every once in a while to go back to a museum somewhere, or a massive building with numerous floors where you could walk through and see, oh, this is a Tomorrowland sign that got taken down in 2019, and this is that, and this is that. Just see some of that old stuff. That'll help bring back some of the nostalgia for the traditionalists, but keep the things current and modern in the parks.
Gotcha. Well, see, that's I guess for me, and I think we're getting off topic here, but that's where I think you can have a medium of both.
It's possible.
That's how I see it. I mean, I can't see, there's definitely a happy medium there where you can appease both sides of this debate. Is you can have your new rides. Hey, Ray J, welcome in. Good to see you. I think you can have both sides. You can have some of the old nostalgia rides, and the majority of it can be the new stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to be 50-50, but I got news. Carousel Progress isn't going anywhere.
I know that, and I understand why it's not going anywhere. It's just, I got news for you. I'm not getting on it unless I need to take a nap. It's not going to happen.
I think it is the most neat thing in the world to see what we used to have to sit through. I think that's.
But they could put the Carousel Progress in the new museum. Put something there that is. I don't know. It's not entertaining. The only reason why you ride it is because of nostalgia. There's no other reason why people would ride that ride. It's not that entertaining. The animatronics are really bad, and it's just old. It needs, and I know they're changing the last scene, but it's just old. Just like everybody said, nobody's gonna ever change Spaceship Earth. It's getting changed. It'll happen to Carousel Progress one day.
I don't know. Not that one. That one's Waltz.
They're already changing the last scene of it, so.
Well, we'll see. Watch what they change in that. I bet you they don't change as much as everybody thinks they're going to change.
And see, that's how they'll get me too, is because they'll say they're changing it. I'll write it one more time and go, nope, still boring. I'm not doing it again. So.
Yeah. Well, again, I guess I go in with these kind of things. I don't go into that ride expecting to be wowed. I mean, that's not the point of it. I don't think. I think it's supposed to be. That's all. I mean, I already got my expectations set for the different rides. When I go to Flight of Passage, it better not be Carousel of Progress.
Yes.
I get you. But you got to temper your expectations as to what you're expecting going in, I guess. I mean, that's like, even with Toy Story Mania, as great as that is, I know it's not a roller coaster, so I'm not expecting to be having these major thrills. So
yeah, and I'm okay with that. Again, it's another thing that maybe they create a whole 5th park and work on that 5th park as being the nostalgia park, and they can move these rides to that and actually have all the rides. The Great Movie Ride would have been a good one. Carousel of Progress, Small World. Small World's probably not going anywhere, unfortunately, but they could put all of those things over there for the people that want to go just for the nostalgia factor, and then upgrade everything else.
Yeah, there you go. Well, again, it was just one of those things. I just thought it was shocking that the sign was just gone.
Yeah, without any warning to anybody, for sure.
Yeah, we looked up and it's like, I read it and I'm like, what? What do you mean it's gone? So from what I heard, won't be long, the new sign or the refurbished sign or whatever it's going to be we'll be back for the end of the summer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a new sign.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Steve. I think by the time we get there, it'll be back. I really do. I think it'll be back by then, whatever it is.
Cool.
So that was the second news story I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to ask you what you think of the Grand Destino. Have you seen it yet?
I've not, and on purpose, I've not.
Okay.
Because Dave and Brandy and Dave from Brandy and Dave are staying there, and they're staying there actually next week. I think it's next week they go, maybe 2 weeks, but they don't want to see anything about it. So I've really not had an urge to actually go read about it and see it, because I'm going to watch it when they do it. But yeah, I really don't know a whole lot about it. I will say this: when I was there watching it built, it looks phenomenal.
Let me tell you, I've seen it.
Yeah,
man, it's nice.
it looked really nice. I was just there in September, so I know it wasn't that far behind, but it was really good when I was there.
On the inside, they stepped up their game with this place. I think it looks really nice. The rooms are nice. I mean, it's a moderate resort still, which I think is. Let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah, it's not going to last.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. But I really think that and Ray J just made a good point. Ray J, we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes too. Ray J talked about they're building a walkway from Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom so people can walk. I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. But back to Grand Destino. Up on top, they have the Toledo, the restaurant up there.
Yep.
Corey Meets World did a video on it just today.
Yep.
Already watched it. Very good.
Considering trying to get reservations for it.
Yep. Looks phenomenal. Melissa, we may actually make changes to our reservations and try to get it because it looked really good. But Steve, I'm telling you, and everybody in the chat, if you get a chance on your vacation, if you can go over to the Destino and see it, go see it.
Well, I'm going to for sure in August. I'm trying not to. I want to see Brandy and Dave's first reaction when they do it, and that be my first experience to it. For the whole resort. Now, Corey's video on Toledo's pretty good, but for the rest of the resort, though, as a whole, I'm just trying to hold off. It's only got a couple more weeks. Yeah,
and the views from the top where the Toledo is out across across Walt Disney World, awesome. It's really, really cool as well that they're.
Can't you see? You can see what Illuminations and
yes.
And Fantasmic, am I right?
You can see. I think you can see all of them, including Happily Ever After. Now, Happily Ever After is further away, but I'm sure that you'll see them off in the distance. But yes, I think you can see all of them. Now, I think Epcot's going to be the hardest because it's kind of off to your left and kind of tucked around. Yeah, but it's there. So.
Yeah, I did hear that you could see the fireworks. Now they're all going to be quite a ways in the distance. But you still should be able to see them, at least the fireworks portion of it. Now, it's not like going to be on top of the top of the world looking at the magical or Happily Ever After from Coronado or I cannot think today, Contemporary,
right?
Because that's pretty close, and they pipe the music in. I don't think they're going to do that. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're doing that at Grand Destino, and I think that the fireworks are just off in the distance. I mean, you could sit there and kind of see what's going on. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear the explosions or not.
Right. Well, John Hazelton says the views are amazing. Yes, you can, I believe, talking about seeing all the different fireworks. Ray J asked a good question that I don't have the answer to, and I wish I did. Are the rooms more expensive than the other Coronado rooms? I would think yes.
Currently, no.
No. Okay.
So Dave said, well, maybe it was just the way it worked out, because Dave was talking about this the other day with us. And he said, let's put it this way, what I was paying attention to, understood anyways, was that no, he was fortunate enough to be able to, he had the reservation booked there. He turned around and called them up and asked if he could switch it to there, and it was no difference of anything. He was able to just do it and go right in. Now there's no way that stays that way. But he specifically said that you could stay in those for the same price as the rest of the rooms, and it's so much nicer.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That kind of shocked me that the prices were the same right now. I
think it's going to be kind of like the Beast Castle is. We were shocked the Beast Castle was only one table service credit for that experience when we did it. Well, now they've turned around and changed that after everybody got their fill of it for the first year or two. Now it's a 2 table credit meal now. I think that they're doing that. This Artist Point, I think, will wind up being the same way. You go get prime rib and everything. It's only one table service credit for Snow White, the Evil Queen, Dopey, and Grumpy. That's going to change, in my opinion, in the near future. Probably after a year or so of it being open, maybe two, to go in the same way with two. I think that's going to be the same with this brand new hotel. They're going to let people experience it. Eventually, it's going to be DVC and expensive rooms.
Right. And it's funny because you talk about 2 credits. Le Cellier at one point was a 1 credit too.
I didn't know that, but yeah,
it was.
So what they do is, they test the success of these restaurants out, and if they made it really big at the beginning, a lot of people probably wouldn't go. So when you open it up to everybody for a year or two,
exposure. Yeah,
exactly, 100%. So I try to enjoy these restaurants while I can before they do that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree. And then Ray J touched on something they were saying about they're building a walkway from the Grand Floridian over to Magic Kingdom. Now, I think that's smart. I think if you can give people the option to walk to Magic Kingdom from the Grand, I think that's amazing. I'm glad they're doing this, and I know that they have filed permits today or yesterday. They filed permits with the state of with the county. So it's happening at this point. When permits are filed, pretty much it's a go. They're on their way. What do you think of this idea, Steve?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's never going to affect me because I'm never, unless I stay DVC, I'm not going to stay at the Grand Flo. And I know it's going to be shocking to a lot of people, but I don't really care too much for the Grand Floridian. I know it's supposed to be grand and elaborate, and I like the architecture part of it. The rest of it, it's just bland to me. I mean, there's no reason for me to stay there. It's not themed like the rest of them are. I'd rather stay in the All-Stars than I would stay at the Grand Floridian. I'll go there to listen to the piano player. I'll go there to look at it. I have no interest in staying there, so it's not ever going to affect me. But I do think for the people that actually do stay there, that a nice, walk would be. It's not that far away from Magic Kingdom. It makes sense. That way, it keeps people off the monorails too.
Gotcha. Well, here's my thing. Here's what I see as the reason to do this. It's all about easing the pressure of the monorail and the other type of traffic.
Yep.
Imagine now at night, okay, Magic Kingdom, busy night, tons of people there, right? Most of them can now walk from Magic Kingdom back to the Grand Floridian. That'll take pressure off the monorail. That'll take pressure off the buses. That'll take pressure off the boats. That's going to be important.
But I don't think most of them will walk at night.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I mean, because not everybody
if it's well lit,
the park closed.
If it's well lit and everything, I think if it is, then that's a different story. But obviously the tragedy that happened there not too long ago, there are wildlife around, there are people around, and as bad as it is to say, if you were going to try to go anywhere if somebody was going to try to go anywhere to do something, that's the resort they're going to do it to, because that's where it's more expensive. So I don't know. I don't think people would go unless it's well lit, which they could totally do. Then it would be just like you're walking down it in the daylight. Then that would not be a problem. But if it's not well lit, I would not expect people to do it.
Well, here's my thing. Here's how I see it. First off, it's Disney. Crowds are everywhere. There's very few places you can go at Disney that are excluded places.
Yeah.
Okay, secluded places. That's what I meant to say. Secluded, where someone could take advantage of someone in that respect, for robbing them and things like that. They make this walkway. There's going to be people walking on that walkway all the time. I mean, maybe not 2:00 in the morning, but there's going to be people walking, and they are going to take every precaution because of what happened to that little boy, God rest his soul, to make sure that wildlife, there's going to be fences that are going to be put up. There's going to be things they have to, because I agree with you. You can't take that chance.
Yeah. That's what I said. It all depends on how it's constructed. So if they do that and it's all well lit and it's big and grand and everything else, then yeah, people will do it. Otherwise, and you got to think too, when the park closes at 10:00 or 12:00 at night, how many people from Magic Kingdom are actually staying at the Grand Floridian? No, I'm not saying there's not a lot, but that you're talking about a very small percentage compared to everywhere else in the world.
Sure.
So.
Oh yeah, when you're comparing it, but it will still help to ease some of it.
I agree.
If there's 200 people that decide to walk,
Yeah, anything they do is an improvement, is great, whether it's little or big. I'm all for it. Hopefully they do it right.
Yeah, I think so. I hope they do too. I really, really do. Steve, any stories that you wanted to touch on real fast?
I'll just tell a rumor that I heard earlier. Rumor has it that very soon, maybe I don't think they'll wait till D23 to do it, but that Brazil is in fact coming to Epcot, and that they will still break ground this year between Italy and Germany. They'll break ground on Brazil, and it'll be done by 2022.
Interesting. Okay, I did not hear that. How about that?
Again, rumor, not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet, but it was cited as a cast member, an anonymous cast member, citing that it will in fact break ground by the end of the year.
Okay, very good. Okay, and that's the thing. Rumors. I know a lot of people get on some of these sites for rumors. I know people were getting on about the Country Bear Jamboree and the other one with these sites that put these rumors out there. That's why they're rumors. That's the whole point. It's a rumor. You're right. That site might have put it out there that this was a rumor, but that's the point. It's a rumor. Doesn't mean that they said it was going to happen. So I get what you're saying, though. And if this comes, that's going to be crazy. I think
I think it's going to be the start of 4 or 5 new ones over the next 10 to 12 years.
Man, that place is going to be crowded.
They've got the room for it. It's as long as it's developed right. When you look at an overhead map, yes, the fronts of these buildings are relatively close, but if you look back, they just go back and it's just this big open area in the back. If they do it all like, say Morocco is, where you only have the 2 big buildings in Morocco, and then when you go back, it's open in the back with all the shops and everything. If they can do it like that, you can fit easily. I think we counted up to 7 you can get in there. And you'd have to take away the African outpost, but you could get 7 more countries into Epcot.
I don't think that'll happen, to be honest with you.
I don't think that'll happen either, but I do think about 4 will come.
Okay, interesting. That's really, really good. That's great. And let me ask you, Steve, what time is Shep going on?
At 9:15.
All right, well, then we will wrap it up so everybody can get on over there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I know it's a Saturday night. Resort TV 1's going, and we're talking sports, but I appreciate everybody stopping in. We definitely we love talking sports. That's why we do this on Saturday nights. But we get that this is a Disney crowd for the most part, and that's why we try to sprinkle in some news where we can. So we definitely appreciate you all hanging in there with us and coming out here tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Real fast, Dean over at the Live Place, liveplace.com. Again, please check them out. Great, great site, great supporter of this community. Dan, Disney Dan, my other partner channel, he goes with Food Fridays on Friday. And, of course, he has Disney Fiasco on Saturdays. And, of course, Steve, my partner channel here. Steve, thanks for being here, buddy. I hope you had a good time.
A great time as always, man. You can't go wrong.
Thank you. You want to plug your channel real fast again for anybody that might be coming in late?
Yeah, we go live on Mondays at 8 o'clock. And, of course, This and That on Wednesdays at 9:30. SportsNite with Walt here at 8 o'clock on Saturdays. This week on Wednesday, it's on my channel. This and That is at 9:30. We'll be doing The Lion King, so don't miss that. And then, of course, keep your eyes peeled out for this big Beverly challenge that the This and That crew is hosting. So it's growing pretty rapidly. So be ready for that.
Yep, lots coming. And for us, of course, tomorrow night, I keep saying tomorrow night, but tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m., be here for Star Wars Sunday. Man, it's going to be awesome. We are finally into the originals.
Your channel, right?
I'm sorry?
Your channel?
My channel, right here, Mouse Talk. We will have Dan will be here with me as usual as we discuss A New Hope, Episode 4, the original, the first one. And we have our special guest, which will be Rob Fuzz, who will be joining us as we talk all things A New Hope, Star Wars. It's going to be fun. 4 p.m. right here. Please check us out. And, of course, on Tuesday night's the big night because Tuesday night we have our stream, Mouse Madness, and we will be talking about our rankings of all the rides over at Epcot. And, of course, we'll be doing our community spotlight, going over Meg from Mickey's Magic, her 10 questions, which we kind of forgot about on Thursday, and I apologize, Meg. I still am so upset that I forgot. But we are going to make it. We're going to make it right on Tuesday as we go over all her questions. And man, you got to join us for that because her questions, Steve, are really, really in depth. I thought yours were long. Meg's are like paragraphs. It's great.
Awesome.
And then after that on Tuesday, Steve,
I forgot about that.
The great debate.
Yes.
Do you guys remember the Mondale-Reagan debate back in 1980? This is bigger. This is bigger. This is the one. This is bigger than Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny debating rabbit season and duck season. This is how big this debate is. It's the Elsa is a villain or not a villain debate between Steve and Miguel from A Disney Life for Me. You want to touch on that real fast?
Yeah, Miguel seems to think Elsa is a villain. I'm going to do the best I can to represent the entire community and show him that she's not. But yeah, it's going to be really fun. And I'll tell you what, I got my back up against the wall because Miguel is an intelligent philosopher that he's going to bring it. But I got a few tricks up my sleeve, so we'll see how it goes.
So don't miss that. And that's on, is that on Miguel's channel?
Yeah, it'll be on the Disney Live. They're not going live at 10 that night. They're going to go. We're going to go live as soon as you're done.
Right after me. Yep. Yep.
Cargo wants to know if you're debating the letter B and its significance. So.
Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us as usual. We definitely had a good time. I know Steve's got to get over to Shep, so we're going to wrap it up right now. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You've all been great as usual. We definitely appreciate you being here. Other than that, folks, just take care of yourselves and each other, and we will talk to you all really, really soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.